Welcome back. We're on the section of finding a template. We need to find the main look of the website. This is a critical time-saving step in setting up websites very quickly. While there is a cost to using a template, it's highly recommended that you purchase a premium one that is highly rated. It's good on multiple fronts. You get support, it's easy to configure, and it looks like it is premium. Let's talk about a few rules of engagement when looking for templates before we dive into it. Now, I'm going to recommend a particular template that I find that is easy for anybody to use. It looks really great and it's quite flexible. But these are some other ones. Of course, you don't have to use that template. You can use another one. So the first thing you want to do is you want to keep the template looking modern. It should really look like the year that we're in. For instance, this year is 2017. It needs to look like a 2017 website. And a little bit of Googling, you'll find out what the trends are. And of course, then be able to give you a better idea what looks good on a website. Also, using templates with updatable color schemes. Some templates are pretty static, and some templates allow you to change a lot of the different colors, the font colors, the banner colors, the menu colors, etc. So we want that pretty flexible. We also want to use templates with lots of included plugins. These things normally cost money. So if you can get a template that has some premium ones built into it, that'd be great. There's one in particular that is necessary to have in your template, and that's Visual Composer. We see that right here. Visual Composer allows us to be able to build web pages without knowing any HTML or code. It's very click and drag based, and we can use a lot of the elements that are already built in for us. So it's a great, easy to use solution. Some other ones that are great too, it's not necessary, but if it has it, it's a bonus. So Slider Revolution. Revolution has many cool options of having, for instance, banners or sliders that change images as they go, and it's really cool to look at, especially when you first come to a website. It's very impressive. Another one is Contact Form 7. It's a very popular WordPress template that allows you to set up forms on your website so that people can fill them out and emails you information. So that's what a contact form is, and that plugin is very great. There's going to be some other plugins that we're going to download and install, but they don't need to come with the template. Your template should really have all of the page variation that your mind map has. That was the mind map we did in an earlier video that shows all the different pages. You want to click through there and see if you can see pages that either are very close or some that you can repurpose or use for that. It's not a problem if you do find that there are a couple you don't have or they're really different than what you would normally find in any of these templates. That's okay. You can build them from scratch. It's not hard. It's just nice to have something already done. The other key thing is the template has good ratings. So we're going to look to see, does it have 4.5, 5-star ratings, and it has a lot of people rated it. It's a good indication that it's easy to use and people don't have problems with it. And finally, does it have loadable demo content? In fact, I really like the fact that some of these templates have demo content, and I always install them. It's better to just install the demo content, which means there's going to be fake products and all the pages are going to have all this fake information on it. But somebody's gone through all the work to set all that up, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel. So we can just install it and then change the information that's in a lot of that content, and then delete what we don't need. There's a link in the bottom of this video to the site we're going to go to next, and that is Theme Forest, and that's where we're going to go download a theme and install it on our website at a later time. Your website must be mobile friendly. Search engines discriminate against non-mobile friendly websites, so our website will be responsive. A responsive website will dynamically change depending on how it is viewed by a customer. By this, we will be selecting templates which are already responsive. To see a great example of this, if you look at Etsy.com, open the website on your browser and then resize the window to see how the website responds to resizing. You can see that it actually is very responsive towards how small or how large the window is. So of course it looks great on any device. It looks great on a mobile device, and it could look great on a monitor or even a TV, and that's what we want our website to look like. And we want also Google to like our website. Now, Amazon has mobile-friendly website, but it works a little differently. They actually have completely different things that load up when you load up a Amazon. But just for fun, check this out. On your computer, open up Amazon, go to Amazon.com, and then resize the window after it's loaded, just on your desktop there. You'll see that it actually doesn't squish in nice. In fact, you have to scroll to the right or to the left, and of course you have to scroll up and down. So by default, Amazon actually is not responsive in its design. It just relies on sending basically a different website every time it sees a different device, which is very complicated. We don't want that. So we're going to look for a template again that is responsive. A good link to go to see if your website or any website looks good to Google from a mobile friendliness perspective is by going to this link here, and it will also be down in the description of this video. Okay, so we're going to just move on to the next phase, which is actually looking for the template. And again, I'm going to recommend one. You don't have to buy it, but again, I do recommend it. There are free templates out there. I highly recommend that you, especially being new at this, to not go that route. They're free for a reason. You pay for what you get, and so they can be very difficult to install and very difficult to use. Okay, so please open your browser and click on the link that I provided down at the bottom. It should bring you directly to the ThemeForest site. And in ThemeForest, we're going to actually look for a particular template. But I'm going to show you how to look for other templates. And here it already gives you an example, sort of ghosted in on this field of what to look for. And it's exactly kind of some of the stuff I look for. Now, I also put in additional keywords in here that have to do with whatever particular niche I might be working in. Like for instance, if you're looking for a clothing site, or if you're going to sell RC car stuff, or you're going to sell toys, then you might want to add some additional keywords in here to do that. So, responsive WordPress toys, right, as an example. And you might actually come up with some results in regards to sort of toy themed WordPress sites. So we're just gonna delete this, and what we're gonna do is search for a very specific template, and the reason why I'm selecting this one is because it's very versatile. It's got a lot of different options, and it will suit a wide variety of different brands. And the reason why is because it's got a lot of different templates already built into the one template. So you can pick which style you want depending on what kind of brand or what kind of niche you're aiming for. So Xstore. So if you search for Xstore, and the one we want, they might have a couple of options here. We want the one that says responsive WooCommerce theme. WooCommerce is a plugin that attaches to WordPress, so you can see WordPress here. This one here is not a WordPress theme, and that's why it's cheap. It's a little bit cheaper. It doesn't include all of the extra plugins and bonus features that come along with having WordPress and WooCommerce. So I'm going to click on here, and we're going to go through this together just to see what I look out for a theme, just in case later on down the road you want to get a different theme for something else, for a different project. Or if for whatever reason you don't like anything on the themes that are included or the demos that are included in this theme. Okay, so right off the bat I noticed that it's telling me what's included. So I see some key things here. The visual composer, I can see the icon ghosted in the back there, and slider revolution. Those are the two things that I really like. And it looks like it has a bunch of other stuff too. So that's bonus. So I'm just going to quickly scroll down and see what they have. And what's great about this, like I said before, is that it has a whole bunch of different template options within this template. It's like a template within a template. So that's great. So there's many different things what we can use in here for different type of branding or e-commerce websites, anything like that. So we're going to take a look at this a little bit further. Just going to scroll down and see what we have here. They even have more demos than that. So they include $250, what they say, worth of premium plugins. This is because a lot of plugins, there's lots and lots of free plugins for WordPress, but there's also premium ones, and this includes some premium ones for free built right into this. So that's great. Okay, and they even have something like an infinity scroll, which is great. What that is instead of having the 1, 2, 3 pages at the bottom, you keep scrolling and products or blogs or whatever you have on your site will just continue to load. So it's good. Okay, so a lot of salesy stuff. I'm impressed with what they have in this template. So I'm just going to do the next thing here, which is click the live preview. And I'd like to go through the site itself, see how it feels. Okay, and just going to scroll down here and just look for one that I want to dive into. So I've looked down the list and there's so many to choose from, but I noticed this one here, it looks like it's pretty neutral, and that's one of the things that we want to do is have, well, at least we want to do for this video is have a neutral one. This is the one I'm probably going to look at it in a little bit more detail. It doesn't have to be the one that we actually end up with, but I want to just check out to see how the template functions. First of all, what I like to look out for is to see if it functions well on a mobile device. To do that, you can actually minimize the window, so making it smaller, and then squish it in like this. So we can see how it looks, how it would look like on a phone or a mobile device. And it looks pretty nice, like that's pretty sharp looking. The menu, when you click here, it's a very nice menu when you go there, and let's see how it drops down. Perfect. So that looks really good from a mobile device perspective, and that's what we're looking for as well. So I'm just going to maximize that and look through some pages. Okay, so here's their menu, which gives us a nice big menu. We don't have to use all this, but it is there in case we do increase more things on our website. We can always add stuff to these big menus here. And it's really easy. I'll show you how to do this stuff. Okay, what I like to do is look at certain sections, like here's an FAQ section. So I think that was one of the things I had on my mind map. So make sure you have your mind map out, and you're looking through it, and you're looking to see what they have for questions. So here's an example of a question, and then an answer for FAQs. And it's great because we don't have to do much extra work, maybe changing some of the pictures here a little bit, and obviously changing the text. Okay, and it's giving us some featured products there. So that's really good. And I'm going to go check out the Contact Us page, see how that one looks. Okay, and like most Contact Us pages, it has a map. That can be always moved, changed, whatever the case is. We don't need to have the map there. So if you don't want to have personal information or specific locations, you can take that off. We can take off addresses if we don't need to. One thing we do need on our Contact Us page, though, is a contact form, which they already have here, which is a great thing. Your customers will be able to get a hold of you through this contact form system. And the email that we've set up on the server will be able to take care of that emailing. Okay, the other thing I like to look at obviously is the shop, because this is where the products will be stored. I want to see if it looks good, it's easy to use. Okay, and this is just giving me some hints here. So this is, I guess, part of the demo itself. Can I just click to dismiss that? Okay, and so I'm just going to scroll down. So you can imagine your products here. There's obviously doing clothing on this one. That's fine. It doesn't matter if it's clothes. We can still use this design to sell anything. Okay, and the footer looks really good at the bottom here. There's a whole bunch of links down here, your logo and address. I'm really impressed with how that is. And even at the very bottom, it has, for instance, if you're putting credit card payments down there, okay, this isn't in the template. That's part of the purchasing. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Okay. And so it has all of the elements that we're looking for. And so I'm going to walk us through actually going to purchase this. Okay, so what I'm going to do that is just close out these extra tabs that we don't need. Okay, and remember, when we purchase this, we're actually buying all of these templates that we see here. So we can always use, you can always use a different one if you don't like the one that we're walking through. Although I do recommend you use that one, at least just to build your first site with. And then of course you can use other ones, and make sure too that you review the licensing that they have around this. You can buy other licenses which allow you to use it on multiple sites. I imagine they sell that. Otherwise, for each unique site, you might have to purchase a new license for the template. But if you have experience using it, it's really easy to keep using it again and again. Okay, so what we want to do is I've come back to the main store location to purchase it, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to my cart. Okay, so it's added to the cart. If you want to get extra support for it, you can. And what that means is the developer will support it anymore. If you're ever stumbling across any bugs or issues or things like that down the road that you need help with, they help you. It does come with 6 months of support automatically, and I've used them a couple times when I've found some issues. And plus two, during that 6 months, I believe you can also download if they make an update. It can also be updated. So, okay, so let's go to the checkout. Okay, and now it wants us to fill in some information here. So if you don't have an account, just create an account by typing in your information here, and once you're done, fill out billing details, click continue, and let's go to the next screen here. Okay, great. So I've filled out the form, made the purchase, and here I am. It's asking me to download it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click download, and it's going to download the whole theme. It's pretty big. It looks like it's 90 megabytes there. And so let that download. Now that's downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to create a folder on our desktop. So I'm just going to minimize this down, and we're going to create a folder. So this is where we're going to stick all of our files that we work with, and we're going to call this website files. Okay, and I'm just going to open up this folder. Okay, so here we are. This is the empty folder. Now I'm going to go back to where I had downloaded on my browser here. That's why I minimized it. And we're going to actually click on this this is the cool thing about browsers, is you can, at least with Chrome, you can do this. I believe on Firefox as well. You can click on this little thing down by the file and go show in folder. It's going to open up the folder locations of the downloads. And here's our theme file. So we're going to click on this, and I'm going to click and hold the click button and drag it down. And what I want to do is hover it over this, and I'm going to open up my website files folder. I'm just keeping on holding this button and dropping it in. So there, it's in my website files folder that we can be using for later on. So I'm just going to close those windows out, and we're done here. So we can go ahead and log out. All right, this concludes the planning of our website section. The next section we're going to jump into is installing your website. So we'll be going to be using the host server. We're going to be touching GoDaddy and getting that turned on. And we're going to be installing your theme with WordPress and all the fun stuff. So it's one of the more funner parts. And so I'm excited to see how now we can actually have something tangible. I hope you're as excited as I am. Let's jump into the next section.